Hi, this is Rob Stricker with Inflatable Images, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about your 25-foot Carfox inflatable that you're going to be receiving from Carfox for your dealership. This is what the crate's going to look like, and it's going to hold a 25-foot inflatable Fox. It's going to have everything you need inside of it for the installation. If you're going to be putting it on concrete, you're going to have to get some different weights to weight this inflatable down. And if you put it on grass, it's going to have everything that's needed inside this crate. So stand by and we're going to show you exactly how to do this. The first step in the process is going to be unstrapping the crate, taking the lid off, and checking the contents. You need to make sure you have all the items that are needed to be able to put your inflatable up correctly and safely. After removing everything out of the crate, you can see a list of everything that is included or should be included in the crate. If anything is missing, please call Inflatable Images, whose contact info is listed right here, and you should have received an email telling you exactly who to contact. There's also a set of instructions that says step by step on exactly how to install the inflatable. Now that we've checked and made sure that all the items on the list are included in the crate, we can go ahead and start the installation process. Step one in the installation process on concrete is going to be lay out your ground tarp. This needs to be flat. It will help protect the inflatable from rubbing on the concrete and getting holes. It is a very important step. Sometimes you may need to put a weight on all four corners of the tarp to make sure that it's held down and the wind doesn't pick it up and blow it away. When installing your inflatable onto grass, instead of using the ballasts or some kind of weight that is over 300 pounds, you're going to use the provided stakes. You're going to take the lead loop and slide it over the stake. This is what you're going to hook the strap to. You then want to put the stake into the ground and hammer it 2/3 of the way into the ground. You want the stake angled away from the center of the tarp to make sure that you don't lose tension as the wind blows on the inflatable. You are going to take the strap from the anchor point and tie it directly to the lead loop that you put through the stake. And then the process for it being installed on concrete or grass is exactly the same. After you get the tarp laid out, you're going to want to find ballast weights. We like to use 55-gallon drums filled with water. If you don't have these available, you can use just about anything, but we do recommend using something that is about 300 pounds total on each corner of the inflatable to help hold it down. You guys are dealerships, so cars do work. The next step is to move your Carfox inflatable to the center of the tarp. You're going to open up the bag and dump out the contents. And then you're going to begin to unroll the inflatable inside the bag. You're going to then take the bag and place the bag inside the crate so it doesn't get lost. After unrolling your Fox, you want to make sure all zippers are closed. And you also want to make sure all straps are going to be untied and ready to be secured down to the ground. Step one is make sure the feet of the inflatable are in the center of the tarp. You then want to take the 4 straps on the feet and tie them each to the corresponding corner weight. You want to pull these straps tight enough so the center strap that is located between the 2 feet is taut. Now that you have your 4 straps tied down to the 4 different ballasts, you're going to take your inflatable and accordion itself back onto the center point of the tarp on top of the feet. This will help when it's being inflated to rise straight up. The next step is to grab the inflation fan and your extension cord that are supplied in the crate. You're going to find the inflation tube hooked to the back leg of your Carfox inflatable. You're going to undo your extension cord, make sure it's out of the way, and then you're going to take the inflation tube from the inflatable and hook it directly onto the blower. It uses Velcro and an extra strap to secure it. The next step is to grab 2 people and 1 on each side of the inflatable. You're going to grab the straps that go to the top anchor points. As you inflate the inflatable, you're going to help guide it straight up. It should take about 3.5 minutes to get it fully inflated. As you can see, as the pressure builds, it starts to stand up with a small pull from the people that are helping. After the inflatable is fully inflated and standing upright, you want to tie down each strap, upper anchor point, to the same ballast that you tied down the bottom straps, making sure to keep the inflatable centered and straight up. Carfox inflatable is fully inflated. You want to go around to each corner and take that extra strap and tuck them in behind it so that it's not a tripping hazard. You then want to take any leftover materials, the bag, the instructions, and put them back into the crate for safekeeping until your inflatable rental is over. After your rental is over, you're going to turn off the blower, grab the guide wires, and help guide the inflatable safely down to the ground onto the tarp. This will help prevent the inflatable from scratching too much and also keep it clean because it's on the tarp. After the inflatable is on the ground, you want to unzip the zipper on the leg to release any remaining air. It should come out very fast. The next step in the process after your inflatable is laying on the ground and deflated is unattach all your anchor points from the 4 weights or stakes. You're then going to take the straps and wind them up and tie them together right where the anchor points go for the next person to put up. The next step of the deflation process is to square off the inflatable, unhook the inflation fan, and fold it into thirds to be ready to roll. After your inflatable is folded into thirds, place the storage bag at the end of the inflatable and begin to roll up the inflatable as tight as possible to make sure it will fit inside the bag after it's rolled. The smaller the better. It will make your job easier fitting it into the bag. After your inflatable is rolled up, roll it directly inside the bag. You then want to tie the bag closed and place it inside the crate. When packing your crate, start with the tarp on the bottom and other materials on top of it. The last thing you should be putting into the crate is the inflatable. And then you want to put the lid back on top and make sure you strap it back down tight. One of the most important parts after you get your crate packed up is to make sure you have your BOL, which is your bill of lading. That has to be with the container for it to be picked up by the trucking company. You will receive that in an email before your reservation is complete.